Hello and welcome to Oversight. I am Charles Emuze. Over 50% of the population of Nigerians living in rural areas have little or no access to electricity. Over the past 10 years, the federal government of Nigeria has embarked on several ambitious electricity sector reforms. However, this has not improved access to electricity, largely due to the nation's crippled transmission infrastructure. On today's episode of Oversight, we go to Ogbe-Agbanishumu in Akoko-Edo local government area of Edo State to track an electrification project that has since been abandoned. As is our style, this is what you should know about Edo State.
Edo State is located in southern Nigeria. Its capital is Benin City. It is made up of three major ethnic groups, namely the Benis, Esan, and Afemai. Agriculture is the mainstay of the economy. Edo is buoyant in agricultural resources, with rubber as a leading cash crop. Other agricultural resources include oil palm, cashew, cassava, cocoa, and maize. It has 18 local government areas and 3 senatorial districts, namely Edo North, Edo South, and Edo Central. Edo State has 9 members in the Federal House of Representatives and 3 senators. In 2021, Edo State received a total allocation of 3.49 billion naira from zonal intervention projects known as constituency projects. Ogbe-Agbanishumu is a community in Akoko-Edo local government area of Edo State. It is located about 180 kilometers from Benin, the state capital, and populated with about 3,000 residents. The people there are faced with infrastructural challenges such as healthcare, power supply issues, and terrible road infrastructure.
It's so much painful to the community that since 2018, from this date, we don't have anything concerning lights. They have not come to ask us how we put on the light on. They feel consigned because they don't know whether they use the village eyes to look the community. They don't show concern that they are through with the project. We are pleading for the behalf of the community should help us to contribute to whatever they want to use to help the community and come up on the light for us. Even not only the light alone that we are suffering in this community. One, the most important thing, even the maternity is very important in this community. A village that without no health center is meaningless. For now, we have an incomplete maternity that they have not, the work has not yet done. Besides that, the government just feel unconcerned that who are those communities? They don't feel to do anything about the community. We need the government help, nothing like secondary school in this very community. Our road is very bad. To transport to wherever we are going, they always complain about road.
For a long time now, the CSDA came to wire the community. They fixed pole, fixed wire, they brought a transformer, they set it there, they fixed everything. To connect inside the house is a problem. We have been expecting, no way. We cried to the chairman of the local government, many people, they disappoint us. We don't know what to do. So that was the reason why we still need the government to help us to power the light. What is happening, we don't know. We waited, we didn't know what to do. When are we going to get light? Say tomorrow, next tomorrow, 4 days coming, next year. Over 4 years now, no light. The last one I heard was that the BEDC, they demanded 1 million naira. We should bring 1 million naira before they complete the light. If we look at the community now, we are suffering of that light because we don't have money to pay. Look at the transformer there, everything. With the maternity they gave to us is there, uncompleted. Women, they be in labor, we rush them here and there together, from here together, a long distance. You see, if not God that is helping us, before you can from here go to Igara, it's not easy. With this bad road that is not good, this road that is not good. Even this road, we need federal government, we need the state government also to come and help us for this road. Yeah? Look at the transformer is there now. We don't even know whether that transformer can carry this community. Very small transformer. We don't know. Yeah? Even they give us a borehole. No light to operate it. All we need to do, we contribute money, quarter here every day. I don't have money to pay, contribute. We quarter. How are we going to continue like this? We contribute money to buy fuel for that jet, buy diesel, buy fuel every time. Want to charge set, another big problem. We don't even know what is happening in the local government, talk of the state. Every day, we spend over 5,000 naira to buy fuel, to charge phone, to power the borehole. More than 5,000 every day. We buy fuel for generator, to charge set, and do other things. We are appealing to the state government that they should help us. They should help us to complete our maternity and get other amenities. Like the secondary school, or the primary school we are having here, no teacher. They should bring teacher for us so that we can still get little thing from them.
In 2016, the Edo State government, in collaboration with the World Bank, embarked on a rural electrification project in the area. This project cost 7 million naira. The project was completed in October 2018. It entailed the provision of a power transformer, overhead poles, cables, and water pumping machine. Why has the power project been left to waste? What is stopping the provision of electricity to the people of Ogbe, Agbanashomo, despite the presence of the required infrastructure?
2018, we have an opportunity then to meet with the CSDP to continue their project, and unfortunately they did. And since 2018, they did the project of the electricity, of which they were able to mount a transformer, wiring, and all the rest. All the necessary equipment was put down, but just to switch it on, that is where we are now, of which we are calling the attention of the government to come in so that they can on this light for us. And during the process of this electrification project, we are able to visit the BEDC. It said they need the attention of the contractor report and the NEMSA office. They said they need a contractor report so that they can come and open the light for us. And again, they said they need 1 million naira to procure the bulk meter for the electricity. Up to now, the general manager in charge, Dr. Gbenga Daudu, we are still calling him to bring the contractor to see the NEMSA people and the BEDC. Up to now, we are still waiting for him to do that.
Our partners at Budget have been following this project since 2016 when it appeared in the Edo State budget. Wadame Elevaoje tells us more.
In 2016, we had a project with United Nations Development Fund, UNDEF, to track public projects in the budget. Edo State was one of the states that we engaged. So Ogbe, Agbanashimu is a community in Akoko Edo local government area under Igara. We traveled to Ogbe community to go and see things for ourselves if the 7 million naira allocated for the rural electrification has been done. On getting to Ogbe, we discovered that this community has been in darkness for the past 30 years. So we engaged residents of the community. So we told them, are you aware that there's a provision to electrify the community? The response we got from there was a no. So we said, okay, fine. So what you need to do now is to write a letter to your representative, which is Honorable Kabiru Ajoto. Then they wrote a letter to the representative. They also wrote a letter to Rural Energy and Rural Electrification Commission, where this project domicile. They also wrote a letter to the state governor. That was in 2016. But on the long run, this project was not implemented in 2016. Then in 2017, this project was recaptured again in the budget again, the same amount. So we also made an engagement again, and we wrote follow-up letters. We even traveled to Benin to meet the permanent secretary of Rural Electrification Commission. So we're engaging the community. Then in 2018, this project started under CSDP. CSDP started this project with the collaboration of the Edo State government, and it was World Bank that is funding CSDP. So it's like World Bank gave CSDP these funds to implement projects in local communities in Edo State. So Edo State government also contributed to this electrification project. So the electrification project started, the community was wired, they installed the transformer. But to date, the light has not been powered. And the community, they've written several letters. They've engaged officials of CSDP. They've also engaged BEDC. They also engaged the government officials. To date, this community still remains in darkness. So last year, we also engaged them again on the way forward to see how we can push it further. So they made us understand that people from BEDC are asking them to pay 1 million naira so that before they will connect them. So as I speak to date, this community, over 4 years now, they are still in darkness, despite the electricity electrification has been completed in the community. But today, the light has not been connected to the grid. This community has been cut from the world. They don't even know what happened. So what they do is that there's a borehole project in that community. So what they do is that they contribute money weekly to buy fuel. And they also contribute money to buy fuel in their respective homes, just to charge their cell phones. And as a result, because of high voltage of generator, most of their cell phone has been destroyed. Most of their appliances, their respective homes, has been destroyed. So I think if they have electricity, they will not be facing all these challenges. And this community, they are spending more to buy fuel, to power their appliances. So I think this is the right time. Edo State government should reach out to BEDC. We are appealing that Edo State government should reach out to BEDC so that they can connect this community. What they just need is it's not even the only thing they just need is just to connect this light so that the whole community will be powered. We even know that the transformer they installed for them is small, but we are not even talking about that. But at least just get them powered first so that they will not take it up from there. The community itself now, they don't even know the challenges now, why this light has not been connected to the national grid, because they've done everything. So now the question is, what is not delaying it? Because it's just like a 2-minute trek to the next community, they have lights. But this same community, they don't have lights. And they've connected the light to a place and just one pole in between. Instead of them to just join the light there, they refuse to join the light. Just one pole in between both communities. The next community, they have light, but this Ogbe Agbashimu, they don't have lights. We've written several letters to the responsible individuals. To date, nothing good has been done about these lights. The community still remains in darkness. So we don't know what to do again. Because what the community is telling us now is that BEDC is asking them to pay 1 million naira. So the question I asked them is that, are you paying the 1 million naira into BEDC account, or you are paying it into a private account? They said the person that asked them to bring the money said they should bring the money to Benin. At the time, we even engaged we engaged Edo State, some of the an SA in the Edo State government, who now linked us to one of the BEDC members, and they invited the community and they discussed and they promised that they will restore the light. Since last year December till date now, this community still remains in darkness.
Still to come.
When it comes to energizing, they need to tell the communities all that they need to provide.
We can't run foul of regulatory provisions. We are guided by the regulations.
We engage other stakeholders in the electrification project in Ogbe Agbanishimo. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. To be a part of the show, please follow the social media handles on your screen. Community and Social Development Project, CSDP, was a local partner and a stakeholder in the electrification project in Ogbe Agbanishimo in Edo State. CSDP is now an agency under the Edo State government and has been renamed as CSDA, which stands for Community and Social Development Agency. Ayo Ashaju is a project officer with the CSDA, and he tells us more about the electrification project in Ogbe Agbanishimo that has been abandoned since 2018.
Edo CSDA is a government agency, Edo State government agency, and we assist communities to access social infrastructures. And Ogbe Agbanishimo is one of over 200 communities that have been assisted to access social infrastructure. And Ogbe Agbanishimo expressed interest for electrification and water, and the two have been implemented. And after implementing it, it is their baby because they own it. And how do we assure ownership? The first thing is that they express interest. We go to them, they carry out what we call needs assessment to identify the particular project which is of their own priority, and then they elect committee members who are supposed to implement the project, and then they pay 10% of the cost of the project, and the Edo State government through this agency gives them 90% of the cost of the project. So this is to ensure that they own the project and to ensure that they sustain it even after the implementation of the project. So Ogbe Agbanishimo is one of the communities that indicated interest and implemented projects, electricity project. But it's unfortunate that they have not been able to energize all this while. And why they have not been able to energize is that they have not probably relate well with the distribution company. BEDC is one of the main challenges of electrification in Edo State, and I think maybe in other states also. So they are supposed to relate with them until they get it energized. And whatever they are supposed to do, they're supposed to do it. And other communities have overcome such challenges. So, and I believe that they can also overcome the challenges. The challenges is basically maybe what the distribution company is asking for, that the community has not been able to actually provide. When it comes to energizing, they need to tell the communities all that they need to provide. And it is now, the onus is now on the community to provide all. So if you are the BEDC and they told you that, they told them what is their concern or what is the hindrance, what are the challenges. Is it that these people have refused to present these conditions or satisfy these conditions? So I know that there are requirements, there are conditions, but these conditions have been made by many other communities. So it is, I wonder why it would be difficult for any community not to be able to meet it. So it is the community that can now tell you maybe the kind of challenges, other challenges, which are below the surface that is hindering them from being able to satisfy the conditions.
All fingers point at the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC. It is alleged that BEDC officials demanded 1 million naira before energizing the transformer in Ogbe Agbaneshumu. How true is this? Why is it so difficult to energize the area? Adekunle Tayo is the Corporate Affairs Lead for the Benin Electricity Distribution Commission in Edo State.
No, it wasn't a request for either gratification or anything. It was meant to pay for the bulk metering we were to put in that community. It was the regime that was in operation then presupposes that they pay for the bulk country meter that will be put in that community to be able to account for the energy that will be given to them. Everything is privatized, everything is commercial. Whatever energy is sent to that transformer has to be accounted for. And the only way to measure without cheating either of the two parties is to put the meter there, and that's what we're asking them to pay for. So it wasn't a gratification or anything. It was a legitimate money that was meant to procure the equipment that will serve them and make everything fair. So as soon as they respond, definitely we are even eager to do that, but we can't do that without doing the proper things. And we are also imploring them to try and make attempt to ensure that they normalize all the two issues so that as soon as possible they can get supply. It's rather unfortunate that the community in question continues to be in darkness since 2018 after they applied to be connected to the national grid. This is the first time they are doing so. As a service provider in charge of electricity distribution, we are guided by regulations, and we have regulatory bodies that actually monitor our operations and give us rules to do. The procedure for getting connected is that if a transformer is provided, it is supposed to be cleared by the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA. That is the major drawback which the community was yet to fulfill. There's supposed to be a NEMSA certificate, and this certificate will be issued after the NEMSA officials have actually gone through the transformer to determine the status of transformer in terms of suitability and capacity. 2, they will also go through the network to check the lines, whether the lines are in proper shape, they are in order, and they also want to see what the contractor has done in terms of the network before they will now issue a certificate. It is that certificate of clearance that we will ride on to energize the transformer. And since 2018, we've been asking to ask the contractor that provided the transformer, which they said we should energize, to provide the net clearance, and they are yet to do so. That's one major issue. That's why we are here to give them light, because if you go ahead and do that, we are running foul of the regulation and will be sanctioned for doing that. Then second, we also asked them to ensure that they pay for metering. During the time they applied for energization, it was the meter asset provider, MAP, regime that was in operation that time, and they were meant to pay for that meter. That's bulk counter metering, which we are meant to provide for the community. But they said they didn't have money. So our position as BEDC is that if they could start payment for the metering, we'll start work on trying to connect them while we are with the NEMSA clearance. But they didn't respond. So that's why we couldn't even provide them with electricity supply. We can't run foul of regulatory provisions. We are guided by the regulations, and if NEMSA does not clear, it will be foolhardy to go ahead and give them supply while we run the risk of being sanctioned. And we had meeting with their decent delegates. We held meetings with them several times, and we told them, and it's like the contractor is here to produce the NEMSA certificate, the NEMSA clearance, without which we can't go ahead to provide the supply for them. Then the issue of metering too, they didn't even make any move. If they had made any attempt now to say, okay, we'll start paying on installment basis, yes, that would be considered that we'll start, because we also have sympathy. But without them responding to any of those things, we are handicapped. Definitely as a service provider, when people come and demand for services, we hold meetings. Definitely the starting point is to advise them to have an electricity committee. The electricity committee will come together. It is people that are usually self-employed or retired people, people of integrity, community leaders within that community that will come together, form that committee. They will now liaise with our officials as to what is necessary to be done for them to be energized. After doing that, we do what we call head count, enumeration. Enumeration is like head count of people within that community. We want to know how many people are to be provided for in terms of the services, in terms of the transformer, in terms of facilities to be provided. Then after that, they will reconcile their accounts. How much are they owing? We can ask them, we can tell them they are owing X amount of money. They can say, no, it's not up to that. So that electricity committee will liaise with our officials. They will reconcile the account. After the reconciliation, they will now do technical, assessment. So they go from house to house, see the kind of load each houses in that community is carrying. That will determine the capacity of the transformer to be brought to that area to serve them. So when all these ones are done, it's a process. Then the metering. Also, after the metering has been done, the network has been cleared, the transformer will now be brought. We'll now ask them to pay a certain fraction of whatever bill is outstanding. Not everything. Then they will now give us like a schedule of how they intend to pay the balance. Then when all this have been done, the inspection, the proper inspection has been done, then we'll begin the process of trying to connect them to the grid. And we sign an agreement. Once they sign the agreement, the payment is made, the transformer is provided, then we begin to energize them.
Ogbe Agbanyesumo is represented by Honorable Peter Akpatasin in the Federal House of Representatives. We put a call through to him and the legislator declined to comment on the matter. He, however, assured our reporter that his team will assess the situation and take action where necessary. Oversight on Channels Television will continue to monitor the situation in Ogbe Agbanyesumo and keep our viewers posted.
This is the much we can take on today's episode of the program. We urge you to play your part. Don't just sit down and watch. Get involved and ask questions. Till I come your way again, I'm Charles Emuze. Thank you for watching.